And we are still running.
Navigate ziehen, nach und nach da gucken, ne? Ja,
genau.
Alles gut. Das würde ich nehmen.
Okay.
Ich gebe dir dann ein Handzeichen.
Die letzten 5, genau, super. How did I pronounce your name right? Is it Iwan Rheon or Iwan Rheon?
Iwan.
Iwan,
yeah.
Iwan. And then Rheon?
Rheon, yeah.
Rheon, Iwan Rheon.
Yeah.
It's a cool name.
Thanks.
Like Ivan, the great one from Russia, you know, the great
Yeah.
conqueror.
It's the same name, really. It's John, I think.
And I like your appearance in that movie because it's just maybe about 90% your appearance that makes the movie. So how difficult or how easy was it for you being the total lead in this one?
It was very challenging because it's very intense to sort of not have anyone there with you, which you're used to, and it's, you know, there's few days that you do on other things where you're on your own or whatever, but there's always usually another actor or someone else that comes in. So yeah, it was very strange to just have me and a rat, but predominantly just me. So yeah, but it was good because it really helps with the kind of that sense of isolation that the character is feeling when, so he's going through this isolation, and so it really helped for me to, so when there's a couple of scenes where there is another actor, it really did sort of feel really strange that I was speaking to someone else, so it kind of, I think it adds to that whole thing. But it was very challenging, yeah.
And how was it with the rat? So because it's not a horse, like you can train like that and it goes up. So how difficult was it?
The rat was great, yeah. It was actually amazingly quite easy. He was a better actor than I am.
Really?
Yeah. No, he was good. It was actually, but you know, after a while, the rat got used to me, and we were used to each. So I could just leave it on me, and I think there's nice moments in the film where you do just see the rats just sitting on me, and it's very organic. And that did actually, he did actually. And in between takes, he'd just play with. I just sit and he'd be running around my shoulders and stuff, and yeah, I think it was a lady rat. Yeah.
So you become friends.
Yeah, we're friends. Yeah. Haven't seen the rat since we filmed though.
You don't watch each other? Or?
No. Yeah, they can't quite teach the rat to write. It's terrible. You can read though.
What is also amazing is that this movie has just a budget from 1 million euros, which is very, very small. And look what they have made of it. So is it easier or much more stressful working with the smaller budget?
More stressful. I think because there's much less time for everything, and everything's harder because the more money you have, the easier it is. There's more people to do things, more manpower, but I think what's great about a film like this when it is low budget is the people who are doing it, they're all doing it because they want to do it, and everyone gets together as a team, and it really felt like we were all doing this project together. We're all fighting for the same thing. So I kind of like working like that, but obviously, you just have more time, more money, more time makes everything a lot easier. But you can't do anything like that anything about that. And I think I think for them, from a production side, it's the CGI that becomes very difficult when you haven't got a huge budget and teams of people working around the clock, making all the effects. So that's why it's taken so long to come out. Because we filmed it almost 3 years ago. Yeah.
Great. And when you're looking back at the time on set, do you have maybe some nice set memories for us? Maybe some things go wrong that should not go wrong? Some crazy funny things during the special effect scenes? Or?
Yeah, well, I think the main thing was that he's got this thing on his arm which sort of tells him everything throughout the film, and that there was issues with that. It just wasn't quite working, and that's again down to a budgetary thing, I think, and time and money. So they were really trying to fix it, but it was very difficult to make it work. And I think there might be one scene in the film where I'm not wearing it at all.
But was the screen an iPhone or was
it?
Okay.
Yeah, it was just an iPhone in this weird casing. So it was kind of, but it was just always there. But there's some issues with the design. But we got through it, and it was a lot better towards the end. But yeah, it was kind of a bit of a pain.
But you can't use it as a phone or for internet during the
yeah, I'm surfing the internet now. No, I didn't touch it.
And during all the special effect scenes, because I know from so many people that they have to look on tennis balls instead of the monsters because they would be created very long time after you have shooting the movie. So do you have maybe some nice memories from that period?
Yeah, I mean, that was just, it's becoming a very common thing in my sort of career that you just have to sort of imagine that there's something there, or there's a monster or a dog or whatever. And so it was kind of, it was strange, but I think there was this bits where I'm supposed to be looking up at this huge tower, but I'm looking up at something that's just a sort of a wreck of a building, and so that's kind of weird, but you just imagine it. It's just imagination acting. But it's kind of funny. I think the last bit, and as I'm following, I don't really want to say too much, but you have to use your imagination a lot.
Okay. And how much was real from the tower? It was just the bottom, I think, and then the rest of it in the studio.
You could go in there, and there was a little sort of space in there, but it was kind of a wreck. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, then once you go upstairs into the observation, sort of the control room, then that's in a completely different place. In a warehouse in Leipzig.
Great. And do you have some nice memories from your time here in Germany? Maybe you have the chance to eat some great German food or see some cool German things?
Yeah, well, I mean, when I was filming this, because I was in every scene, and I didn't really get much of a chance to sort of see anywhere. But I got to go out a few times, and I've been to Berlin a few times before, so it was nice to sort of have a day off every now and again and get to go out and have a few beers, and yeah.
Is there a typical German thing that you like? Maybe the kind of living, or maybe some sausages, or some good German beer? Or
well, you know me, I like sausages. But yeah, lots of good beer, and I think there's just something really great about Berlin. There's a really amazing vibe about the city. It's a very vibrant, sort of energetic city that seems to constantly be moving. So it's really fun to be here. But it's obviously it makes it more difficult to be disciplined and be in bed early because you've got a long day shooting and there's nobody else to rely on. It's just you on your own. I didn't really get much time. I didn't see Leipzig at all, basically. I was just in my hotel or the studio, which was a shame. But, I was there to work, not have fun.
And do you learn a little bit of German? Maybe some few lines?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, but no.
Can we hear it?
No, I'm nervous now. No.
Don't be shy.
Well, watch my next film, Hurricane. I speak German in that.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm Polish.
Great. And if I'm allowed to ask a few questions to Game of Thrones, because I love the show, I love it, and you are the most evil, mean character, more evil than King Joffrey, and that is really, really hard. So how much fun is it playing this role, Renly?
Yeah, it was a great character. I really enjoyed playing him because he was happy. That's the thing about him. That was the key to the character, that we just very early on discussed the idea that he loved doing this, so you didn't have to play him all like mean, and it wasn't like any weight on him. So he was just, having a lot of fun. But obviously there were certain things that the character did which was very, horrible. But, it's kind of, I can't worry about that. I have to play the truth of it. And he would do that, and he would have a lot of enjoyment causing horrific pain to poor innocent people. But, it was a lot of fun. It was a great show to be involved with. I had 4 wonderful years doing it.
And can you pick a special moment from this show? Maybe some nice things from behind the scenes?
SUM1. It was just very intense. So I didn't. It was just so because I very rarely got a chance to sort of relax, and it was 3 years ago, so I can't really remember. I just remember it. I was just almost in like a sort of because I had to focus so hard because there was no opportunity to kind of relax because, whenever they turned the camera, there was no close-ups on other people, it was all me, so I didn't really get much of a chance to sort of have much fun, to be honest. I know it was a very full-on shoot. But yeah, sorry, I haven't got anything better to say than that.
Was it a wig or was it your real hair that you have to dye blonde?
It was a wig, yeah, but then I had to dye my eyebrows and the front of my hair so that yeah, so that it would go over the sort of the lace of the wig. But yeah, it was so I did look a bit weird with like weird streaks of blonde in my hair and blonde eyebrows.
And my last questions, you wear these nice contact lenses. So any nice story about that? Because I think it's quite hard wearing it so.
Yeah, they were quite difficult after a bit. I had to take we had to sort of get to a point where I needed like a break because my eyes just got really red, and because they were very thick as well and large, so they were hard to get in, and then but because they were thick, you couldn't really see properly, to be honest. So I spent half the film just like it was very blurry, and yeah, it was really weird. So we'd have to try and work out when I could not wear them as much as possible, because it did actually get difficult, and my eyes were getting very sort of irritated. But you know, it was fine. I was looked after well, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was kind of it was a bit annoying really wearing those all the time. But you know, I think the effect that they made was worth it, and I guess you could do it with CGI, but it's just a waste of money, and you just put contact lenses in, and it's fine.
Great. Thank you so much for taking the time. Let's